Hello, I'm Dr. Katie Kinney with the Scribe Writing Center, and welcome to this short video on using a prompt well. So you're about to start a paper, you're at the very beginning of your writing process. You have books, you may have some ideas, but let's not forget about a key resource, the prompt. The prompt tells you what your paper will need for it to do its job well. That means both what it needs to make a solid argument and what you need to do to experience deep learning through the process. So the prompt may list parts of a paper that should be present. It may also use keywords describing tasks your paper should accomplish. So we'll begin by highlighting some of those keywords and defining them. These are often verbs, and here are some examples. Analyze, discuss, evaluate, exegete, reflect, review. You could also see things like compare, put in conversation, have a dialogue with, contrast. The list could go on and on. Now, I would suggest that you define the keywords of your assignment in your own words. So some of these might be things discuss, talk about, we know what that means, but think about what are the implications for this assignment. It's not a bad idea to get out your dictionary or a theological glossary to remind yourself of what your assignment's keywords mean. For instance, to analyze is not the same as explaining. While where explaining may be to describe a situation or what is going on, to analyze actually means to break something down into parts and find out how the parts are connected or related to one another. So it's a subtly different task to analyze versus to explain. You should probably make yourself aware of when an assignment is primarily asking for writing based in your experience or perspective, such as words like evaluate or reflect, or when it may be more about setting someone else's idea in context, such as discuss and review. So slow down in a moment, right in the beginning of your writing process, and think about what are you actually being asked to do in this paper. And of course, use the context of the prompt and your in-class instruction to round out your definition of these keywords. A second handy tip is to place yourself in the position of your professor. What does your professor want you to learn or practice while completing this assignment? Can you list 2 to 3 learning objectives? These 2 can help you keep your work on task and can keep you motivated. So the question you may ask yourself are, what skills are necessary for this paper? Are you being asked to demonstrate research skills? Is there a particular rhetorical skill that you'll be using, such as evaluation, putting things in context, comparing things? What do you want to demonstrate having done by the conclusion of your writing process? A third tip is to reread your prompt throughout your research and writing. Preparing well with the prompt before you begin to write can keep you from straying away from the goals of the assignment and facing unexpected difficulties. So this is achieved by defining those keywords, identifying your learning goals and objectives. So before you begin to write, spend some time with the prompt. During and after your writing, be mindful of how the paper that you are crafting correlates to the expectations of the prompt. All right, so there should be, you should be able to point in your paper where you are doing the actions asked for in the keywords, or identifying where you are experiencing the learning that is described in your learning goals or objectives. So can you point to the specific places in your paper? You might want to get out some colored pencils or highlighters and point to the specific places in your paper where you are attempting to accomplish the keywords and objectives implied in the prompt. So when you embark on your paper with the support of your prompt securely loaded, you'll be in for a smoother ride. After you have finished your paper, I recommend taking a moment also to reflect. Where did you experience growth in regards to the learning objectives? This may mean, where did you experience struggle or challenge? What felt difficult? And think about those experiences not as times when you were perhaps ill-equipped or not able to achieve what was being asked of you, but rather that those were the moments that you were growing. Those were the moments when you were having to think creatively, when you were having to really think about your own process, your analytical skills, where you were growing. That is what that feeling really is all about. And with that in mind, and having those areas identified, what might you do differently next time? How are you going to approach a similar task, a similar learning objective, a similar keyword in the future? What will you want to be able to remind yourself? It may be that just looking at those definitions of the keywords are going to help you think more clearly about what you are trying to communicate through your writing. Or it may be that having those learning objectives are going to give you motivation in understanding the deeper significance, the deeper possibilities of your writing process. So give yourself the benefit of 5-10 minutes of reflection when you finish an assignment. Where did it take you, and what might you do with these skills in the future? If you'd ever like to look at a prompt with a scribe consultant, that is an excellent idea. We are ready to have a consultation with you at the very beginning of your writing process, even before you have words on the page. Bring in your prompt and we will have a dialogue with you about it. You can make an appointment at the library website, and you can also contact us at scribe@covenantseminary.edu. So during a consultation, we can support you at any writing level and at any place in the writing process. So bring us your prompt, your brainstorming, your rough drafts, and your polished ones. We'd love to support you as you refine your writing. Thank you very much, and have a great day.